Have you ever had your entire life change in what felt like the blink of an eye? One day everything is normal, and just a few weeks later you're experiencing something you never thought you would, something you never imagined. Well, that's what happened to me in 2020 when I was in the Marine Corps. My unit had started what we thought was just another workup. And what a workup is something that Headquarters Marine Corps tells us that our unit is slotted for deployment. So we need to show them how effective our unit is and how prepared and ready we are to deploy at a moment's notice. And at the time, none of us knew how quickly things were about to change. Today, I just want to tell you what it went from a normal routine workup to being deployed to Saudi Arabia in just 2 weeks. And then a month would pass, and I experienced the scariest moment my entire life when my base got struck by a missile. Everything had happened. It happened fast. We were training every day, thinking it was just part of it, part of military life. Then we received the news that we were deploying. And before I had time to process anything, I was packing my gear and I was saying my goodbyes to my friends and family. I remember feeling a mix of emotions. I was nervous because it was my first deployment, but I was also kind of excited. And as a young Marine, deployments are something that you train for. And I felt like I was finally getting the hang of my job. And when we arrived in Saudi Arabia, everything was different. It was hotter, it was brighter, and I had experienced what it was like to be across the world, being away from all my family like that. After a few weeks of being there, life started to become routine, kind of normal, kind of not. It felt like a different schedule, but it was kind of the same. Eventually, it became normal. Then one day, everything changed. I remember hearing the emergency alarms go off across the base. They're scattered, coming from every direction. So we run. That's the first thing. That's what we were trained for. We get our flak and Kevlar on, and nobody's really talking. Nobody's talking. You can cut the tension in that bunker room with a knife. Not even the senior staff NCOs knew what was going on. And then we finally got word that a missile struck the base right near us. And even though we train for these situations, nothing like that will prepare you for anything. It's something to practice these emergency drills, and it's completely different when it actually happens to you. That moment completely changed how I looked on what was going on, the deployment, the people around me, how I felt around them. I felt vulnerable. It wasn't just another assignment anymore. It became very real, really fast. And how quickly life can change and how important every day really is. Looking back now, I'm grateful that I made it home safely. But I'll never forget that experience. Going from what I thought was just another training exercise to deploying only 2 weeks later. And then experiencing a missile strike. The biggest lesson that I learned is life can change without warning. And because of that experience, I appreciate my family, my friends so much more. I don't take ordinary days for granted anymore, and I enjoy every opportunity that I can get. You never know when life can change in an instant, so make the most out of your day. Thank you.